Dog Gadgets. Live.
And there we go. Hello.
Hi there, it's Josh from Brown Dog Gadgets. Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
Fun things.
Oh,
Hey there.
Brown Dog Gadgets.
Hey, we're doing a special lunchtime launch.
Yeah.
It's a lunch launch.
Lunchtime.
Lunch. Because apparently I can't spell on Twitter. So we're launching our new Crazy Circuits bit board today. Available.
Get a green one.
Yeah, let's grab a blue one.
Purple. That's
Yeah, the purple one.
Purple,
That's
Josh.
purple. Wow. Colorblind and I can't spell. I'm a catch.
Wow.
Crazy Circuits Bitboard. It's how you combine microbit with Lego in a fun Crazy Circuits environment. We just literally launched the Kickstarter a couple minutes ago. If you want to check it out, you can find that at kickstarter.com/brown dog gadgets. Pete's going to show you
Let's
here.
Take a look here.
There we
Can
go.
you see it? What's it say?
Yay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, we're actually, people are spending money
Yeah,
as we
okay.
talk. Well, probably because we have a bunch of early bird specials, like
Yeah.
special discounts going on right
yeah.
now for people who back like the first chunk of backers. You have a bunch of things that are like extra off our retail price point.
Yeah.
Basically, we're doing this Kickstarter campaign so we could pay for manufacturing cost, all the video production we're doing, and some of the design work we've done here. That's what our main goal is, just pay for the manufacturing of this thing. So any kits you purchase is just going to pay for that initial manufacturing run of these guys. But we have some special deals on there for people, especially for teachers and librarians. And if you don't want to use Kickstarter, because Kickstarter can be annoying sometimes, oh, goodness gracious. You can actually pre-order off our website at browndoggadgets.com. We have this... Thanks, Pete. We have the same standard discounts on there that we'll be running with the Kickstarter campaign for the next month.
Yeah.
So if you want to save 20% on those things, you can do that. We'll also take a school purchase order right now, as well if the school's like, hey, it's because it's a product on their website. We can totally do that for you. So if you want to spend that sweet school money, which we all know so many teachers have.
Wow.
I know I had so much of it that I...
Right.
Clearly had to start a side business to pay for things. Wow, look at that.
We got our first comment.
I'm pretty sure that's just you, Pete.
Yeah, okay.
Pete likes to comment on himself. But so we're actually show some projects out today that are actually in our big video. And actually, Pete, we're also going to show our really cool Crazy Circuits Bitboard video that we spent a lot of time doing. Because this stuff looks really, really cool, and we spent a lot of time doing video work. Was it you and Ben spent like 2.5 days just doing video work on this?
At least.
And we spent a ton of time making these projects up over the past couple months. We've shown a few of these off. But we're just really, really happy to show off this stuff in a really cool way.
Yeah.
So let's roll that video, then we'll go into the project. So let's roll.
Let's see if this works.
Introducing Bitboard. The Crazy Circuits Bitboard allows microbit to connect to the world of Lego to create amazing projects with motion, light, and sound.
I can do that, Dave.
Bitboard easily connects to any Lego-compatible bricks. Control Lego-compatible servos to animate your project. Control LEDs and NeoPixels for advanced lighting effects. The built-in relay allows control of higher-power DC devices. Connect components together using our special maker tape. The Bitboard expands the possibilities with multiple inputs and outputs. Build a basic robot, or a more advanced one. You could even design a musical instrument. Programming is easy. Just drag and drop to create your project. The Bitboard. What crazy things will you build?
to there.
Yay!
Hey,
So,
all right.
yay! Nicely produced video thanks to our main man, Ben, our video guy. He's done all of our Kickstarter videos over the years, and it's helped that we've made really good looking things on the table for him to do well with the video. So we're going to go over some of these projects and talk about why the Bitboard is freaking cool and why you should totally back it. I see we've actually almost hit our goal already here. Thanks, Tyler.
Looks cool.
Tyler.
He's right.
You're cool, Tyler. I just tell. You're cool. And it is cool. We have a really good time. We can show you some of from the small projects up to the big projects you can do with it, because we showed some really, really big ones in that video that are really tough to show off on our table here. Yeah. Like our Ferris wheel is gigantic. It's 2.5 feet tall, and it's fully automated with lights and motion, and we almost put sound in, but sound does not show up well on video. But we could totally put in like sound effects with it controlled by a microbit. Yeah. On the Bitboard system. And so let's pop over to it, Pete. Let's pop overhead view. Oh, look at me. Can you move me over a bit?
Where do you want to be?
Push me over.
Go that way more.
There we go. Because we had to change it for that other video we did yesterday.
Right,
so
we got room for
yeah, bro, don't get just to come.
And if we need it, that.
Yeah. So okay, here we go. So the idea with the Bitboard is to have a way to combine microbit with Lego, like all of our crazy circuit stuff. That's what we've been doing for the past 3 years. We actually had a Kickstarter campaign for a crazy circuit system, which we now sent out like 100,000 plus components over the past couple of years. It's insane the amount of parts we sent out. But the goal was always to make Lego and electronics work very seamlessly in a very kid-friendly, easy to use and expandable environment, so that if you want to do a simple LED on a ghost in your Lego project, you can do that. Or if you want to control a robot with Lego, you can do that too. Just bring in all those standard parts and components that are super cheap and easy to find, but don't really work well with Lego. So we've been asked for quite a while to do a microbit version, and it hasn't really taken off until recently here in the US. I know UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, really all the other English-speaking British places, former British places. I've really gone gung-ho on it because I know that the BBC released the microbit back in 2016 and gave it out to like 4 million kids, 6 million kids, something like that, in the UK. And I just know the government's been really seeding schools with them because it's a great interface. It's got a lot of nice built-in sensors and whatnot on there. It's pretty darn low cost, and it has a nice graphical user interface through Microsoft MakeCode. So you saw in that video, drag and drop interface really seamlessly works well. Tons of great documentation, and it's really easy for us to make projects and document them with that nice setup. But we had to make a nice adapter to work with a crazy circuit system. So here we go. Here is our Bitboard, which is right there. Just easily plug in your microbit to here. Or you want to get really fancy if you want to use an Adafruit Clue, which we also have, which is something new from Adafruit, which is like the microbit on steroids. Same form factor, just with a ton more on it. It's kind of like the microbit's older, more successful brother or sister, who went to law school and now works at a firm in a large city, and whose parents don't have to constantly ask them, what are you doing with your life? Anyway, going on. It's my analogy. But no, if as an adult maker, somebody who is experienced in programming, want to go further than what the microbit can do, Adafruit Clue is a great way to go. But we're really focused on microbit because that's what all the kids are using these days. So it just pops on in, then we can pop it onto Lego. So let's show a couple of these projects off and how we did them. And the features is on the video. You can plug in parts. We have a built-in relay, plug in sensors and power and whatnot through the pin headers. But that big Lego aspect and the way it hooks up to all the other components is kind of the big selling point of this guy. So once again, back our Kickstarter campaign, now live, or pre-order off our website. So let's go. Gosh, there's so much stuff on this table. Let's start with a couple of these things and then get them off the table.
I didn't know what you wanted, so I got most of it.
Holy crap! Yeah,
I know.
Let's first start out with little robot dude here. This is kind of a really good example of how you combine the Lego building with a robotics project, because I always know robotics is a tough one for the mechanics. You can find code out there, good example wirings, but mechanics is always a tough one, even for us. Like, we have a laser cutter, getting parts to fit together, yay, but it's still a lot of effort. Where Lego, it's meant to be built on. So Pete built this up a while ago, actually for one of our Arduino-based boards, using a distance sensor. 2 of our Lego-compatible servos we have, these are continuous rotation. Those come in some of our larger kits, but they pop onto Lego. They're really nice. And then we just said, hey, let's use the Bitboard for it. And this guy's really cool because it's a super simple body. Like, really, we just made a rectangle to hold Battery Pack. And we did actually do a 3D print to hold the distance sensor because we had a 3D printer. There's some great open source holders for that, but you can also build something like this out of Lego really easily. We've done that in the past as well.
Rubber bands, tape.
Rubber bands, tape, a little hot glue to get it down. You're good to go. But it's a wall avoiding robot. It'll just keep going straight until it sees something and bounces away, all with the microbit on top here. And this just, in the video you can actually see, we just place it down on top because it just easily sits on here. Now we're not using these the connectors, the Lego connectors here to actually do anything. We're plugging everything in via the row headers up here. But it's a great way of using like how can we combine Lego with simple mechanics of to build a robot. So that's a really easy way of doing it. And it's one of my more favorite ones. We do it a lot in the video because it's such a simple approach. You can build your chassis and your body any which way. I even toyed around with making like a tank version of this because tank treads they look good on video. Everyone loves a tank tread. But we're like, no, this is just keep it super simple to show off. Like it doesn't have to be difficult to do this. I think the most difficult thing was finding one of these Lego ball casters, which I think we just got a pack of these off eBay because they're not a very common part. But for quite a while, we just had a flat Lego piece dragging as the third point of contact on the back. Any smooth surface, it's fine. But we threw the caster on here just to look a little nicer. So we're gonna move this guy to the side because we did that, and then we also did as parts are falling off now. We did like the bigger version, which is Pete. Can you go to the front view again for me?
You want front view? You got.
Yeah, let's see if this will work with the green screen. Kind of. Yeah. So this is a Lego WALL-E. We showed this off before. This was a kit that came out, back when WALL-E was popular. And the nice part of this is it actually has a really good mechanical wheel setup here for the tank treads. Let's go back to the overhead and there we go. So it's actually got a really nice mechanic setup for this. And quite a few people took regular Lego motors from Lego themselves and just added it on the bottom. There's some really easy, it's just really simple to just add them in. But we wanted to make our things a little more autonomous because the Lego system really was just an RC car. You had made a WALL-E RC car. And we're like, you know what? I want to make ours a little more autonomous. We can give it commands and can just then follow those commands. We can even somehow work in a sensor if we wanted to. But what we did was we shoved a battery pack inside of WALL-E here. Got a little just a AA battery pack. And we have two of those continuous rotation servos again on the bottom, hooked up to the tread system here, so it does move along at a pretty decent pace. And then we just stuck the microbit on our bit board just on the backside with a few extra Legos. So it keeps the overall look and feel of WALL-E, at least from the front, with a microbit sticking out the backside. But it keeps the overall look and feel of it. It looks really nice. It moves pretty darn well, as you can see in that video. It makes a lot of clicky-clacky noise from these really heavy plastic tank treads, but it's a pretty good little idea, project idea of how you could use a tank system, a tank tread system to move around a project. And again, if you have a bunch of Lego, especially Lego Technics, building a tank chassis type setup isn't tough to do. It's just figuring out how everything connects together, which is something we'll probably end up doing later. Yeah. Is we've been trying to put together quite a few little demos on our website of basic build guides. You want to do here's how you do this one specific thing that you to connect pieces and parts together. Please stop, Chips. My dog is underneath the table just making weird amounts of dog noise. I'm sorry, bud. But we'll be adding those in there. And by the way, too, all these projects you're seeing today, we're slowly putting up on our website as step-by-step documentation. So once you get the bitboard in hand, which will be shipping in November, you'll be able to make these projects right away. Maybe to buy some extra Lego parts to make some of these bigger projects, but a lot of them you can just make with the parts that come in the kit and maybe parts you have at home. But the WALL-E is a really nice example of a good-looking project that has become automated in quite some different ways. So I'm going to put WALL-E to the side here. As people always phone call us.
Dude, Wampus 24 there.
Bitboard is cool. Well, Wampus.
Yeah.
I guess now over here. I need lunch at some point.
Right.
We're going to put this guy to the side.
All right.
By the way, Pete, what's our Kickstarter up to?
Well, let's see here. According to my little device, we're at $1,507 with 19.
Sweet.
Back.
Our goal is 2,000, so we had pretty. We put out a small goal because that's all we really need to get this out the door. But we definitely want to. There's some great early bird specials. I keep saying this. We have great early bird specials. We can save even more money off the final price point. And in general, everything is at least 20% off. So let's go to the next thing. Let's go to another Lego kit that we put together that we showed in the video quite a bit. And this is a really cool Lego marble maze. And the cool thing about this is that this as a kit as itself required very, very, very little modification to work with a bitboard and 2 of our Lego-based servos. That's what these guys are. They're the same form factors as continuous rotation servos on the other 2 robots, just they're 270 degrees, and you can control them with a bitboard and this little thumbstick we have, a little cheap Arduino thumbsticky thing, which comes in our classroom sets because it's really, really fun to use with this kind of setup. Now this is just great because all we had to do was get a couple of gears and then a couple of these Lego base plates and just some other random parts to get everything kind of figured in place here. And then that's it. We there's really no other modification. I think we took a couple bricks here just to connect the 2 things together, but there's very little modification to this. And this is such a great Lego creator kit because this middle section pops out. You can redo the maze aspect on there. Here, actually, let me just do this. I'm gonna.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I think actually I need
just plug a battery pack in. There's some laying around the table.
Oh yeah, we got tons of battery packs around.
I got things ready.
That's because Pete's on top of things.
Red is positive.
Wow, thanks, Pete.
No problem.
Yeah, we're including these little AAA battery packs with little JST connectors that just slide on in here to make life really easy. Those are coming with most of our kits. And then it doesn't take much movement to get this going. This is just a metal ball bearing we had around. But yeah, we actually bought this kit off eBay. Much like Wally, we bought this off eBay because this was a limited run kind of project. But it's a really great example of being able to just seamlessly combine these bitboard parts and our servos and our LEDs and stuff into an already existing Lego kit. And this is just a great kit because you manually could move things around. But gosh, we've had this for like over 2 years on our shelf waiting for the time to do this. And we just like, well, now is a good time to put this together because it is a fun little project. And this is the kind of thing where you could have middle school kids easily put this together, both the kit itself and then the modifications we did with very little effort. You probably find this kit for like anywhere from $60 to $100 on eBay. At this point, because it's no longer being produced. Maybe they will later. Or you can just build it yourself by buying parts off, say, brickowl.com. Yay, Brickowl. Oh, look, it's Ben Nelson, our favorite video guy. Ben's commenting.
Looks good.
I hope so, Ben. You made the video.
Yeah.
You made that video and some of the supplementary videos. So
Josh, we've also got an upgrade plan for your maze here.
Uh-oh.
Because the microbit has a built-in accelerometer.
Oh, yes, that was the thing, too.
Yeah.
So the microbit has a bunch of built-in sensors on it already. It's one of the reasons it's kind of nice. One of them is an accelerometer, which a lot of people don't use because it's like, what do you do with the accelerometer? Well, you can hold it. You can use that instead of the thumbstick. So you tilt the microbit around, and that's what moves the servos. Yeah. So we'll have to. Yeah, that's a good point.
On that. Yeah, that's on the list.
I mean, that's not a. I mean, we've done the hard work. It's mechanics is really the hard work on here. Everything else is just changing around a few bits of code. Yeah. This will be a project we'll be posting shortly. But no, this is great. This is the maze from a few years back from Lego. It's a really good example of those servos, the bitboard, and just a standard sensor all just being easily plugged in, fitting on Lego. And you could do the same thing with an Arduino if you wanted to, but this just makes things a little more seamless with the microbit and these Lego servos in a very kid-friendly environment or adult learner environment, because we have a lot of adult learners who like this stuff as well.
Or just a fun environment. It
is, because it's a great drag and drop interface, and for a lot of projects, like turn LED on when this thing happens.
Yeah.
Halloween projects. I always think Halloween coming up. You want to do simple lighting effects, simple sound effects, like one action equals reaction. Keeping it simple and easy, because that's Halloween decorations. You just want like ghost goes ooh and shake slightly. Microbit, a vibrating motor hooked up to the relay on here. Yeah. And we actually have an MP3 module, too, that we've been using and showing off how to use the code for. That HAL 9000 part was a cheap MP3 module off of Amazon that we worked with it. So we press a button, the sound effect happened. Well, you can do the same thing. Sensor, MP3 little playing module, and a vibrating motor. You can make like a spooky ghost that when people walk by it shakes and does a sound effect. I mean, it's not that tough. Each part individually is pretty simple and easily documented on microbit. So we're going to put this guy to the side now. We're going to move on to something new. Pete, I'm going to give this to you and get this off the table because he is a chunker.
Yeah, that's a big one. Okay.
And I don't want to drop it because
I got it. I got most of it.
Wires are falling apart. Let's move on to something a little more friendly, kid-friendly here. This is a fun little project. This is a piano. We've done quite a few pianos over the years with conductive paint, conductive dough, all sorts of fun stuff. This is one of our older prototype boards.
I added a bigger speaker for you.
I saw. We'll see if we can get this going. So we've got actually 2 speakers. Got this speaker and this little
What do you think will happen with the big speaker plugged in?
It'll make more sound.
Well, yes.
And sound better.
Oh. You can pull that speaker off and you'll hear just the piezo then.
Here, get this under.
Pull it off.
Let's bring the microphone down.
Microphone down. Oh yeah, let's have some microphone down.
Funky Town.
You need to practice more.
It's Funky Town.
So pull the speaker off, just remove it, and then try it again. You should get just there you go, higher pitched.
Yeah. So I like this project. Let me get it back in place here. I like this project because clothespins are really fun and a great little switch.
Yeah.
So this is they're always connected and it doesn't make a sound until it's been disconnected from there. But it's a great little piano project. You can make your own buttons and switches this way. You could use our Crazy Circuits buttons and switches, which we've done before. It's my favorite demos at teaching conferences, just walking around with one of those little buttons like, play my piano. It's super, I have a little tiny piano that is easy to make. Yeah. But this is a good project. And actually also in that video too we showed. So this is a fun one, and you could do this in a variety of formats. You could do this on, make a big version of this as well if you want to put it on a wall or a floor or a table. We once did a very large piano on a big piece of cardboard, just big pieces of tape with some aluminum tape from Home Depot for a capacitive touch with one of our other boards. Again, there's tons of easy ways to expand this out, but this is something easily that, again, students can make on their own. It's not super tough. There's a bunch of ways of doing this, and it's fun and interactive. So, again, I love student-led projects, and this is, again, we kind of went like as many as we could on here. We could, have just four notes or 5 notes and have the students make a scaled down version of this. But it's not that tough to do. It's just tape. Thanks to our wonderful Maker Tape, nylon conductive tape for you. Conductive on top and bottom. Hashtag Maker Tape. Maker Tape. Maker Tape. Anyway.
Because what you don't want is...
What no foil? No foil. No, it is a song all about the nylon.
Okay.
What's Nelson saying over there?
He says he likes the accelerometer idea.
Yeah.
And then says, you self-balancing project.
Well, and I've seen a few of those with Microbit because the Microbit having the built-in accelerometer really cuts down on wiring for things. Yeah. But yeah, self-balancing robot. We tried doing a little walking robot with this, but to various degrees of success, we have a better version with our robotics board. But it mostly works with this.
Microbit's a little limited in how many servos it can run, but it's all right.
Also, too, Microbit loves running off 3 volts is a thing. And we kept things very, very simple wiring-wise. So there's no buttons or switches, things to go wrong on the board itself. Just 3 volts in. And 3 volts tends to work pretty well for most servos, although they're not as energetic. And oh, what are we up to now?
1640 with 23 backers.
Sweet $2,000 we need. Pledge now. Support
Pledge now.
your Brown Dog Gadgets.
Pledge now.
We get a fun tote bag and a mug. No, wait, that's NPR.
We don't have those things.
No, but we do have the Microbit stuff on Kickstarter, so totally back it, please. We would much appreciate that. Let's move on to the last couple things on this table, because then we got to go to have some lunch, I think.
That's right.
Lunchtime. Let me hand this off to you.
Okay.
I think we're finally getting rid of things on the table here. It's one of my more favorite projects that we put together, is this gigantic lighting effect. And we're just going to... I was going to say, I'll run this off a USB cable. All right, we'll run this off this. It's just a good example of buttons and LEDs. This was actually one of our stress test projects to stress test out our final prototypes from our factory, these green guys. So we did this as, okay, pretty much every input and output has been...
I reprogrammed it.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, the original version
more.
of this, he added more. We're just basically testing out every single darn thing on here to make sure all the inputs and outputs were working properly. There were no issues by having too much power go through. So you just press buttons and get, oh, look at that. 5.
Sit.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah, right.
Pete.
We got that one. That's a fun one. And we got our case. Little Cylon,
Now,
little Larson scan.
Oh yeah, Larson Scanner. You know, Knight Rider. And this guy here is actually not being run off a digital pin; it's being run off a relay.
Yeah.
You know, a relay is a fun thing. A relay lets you bring in things like DC motors or really anything that's not a smart part. Like motors is pretty much the go-to one for DC things. So you have like a random motor around your classroom. You don't want to use that with the digital pins on here. No, you'll burn out your microbit or Arduino or whatnot.
Or it just
really
won't work.
Yeah, because they can't shove out enough amperage through here for what you need to do. So what a relay does is essentially a on and off switch for an additional power supply. So you typically wire in your power elsewhere, like a 9-volt battery, to your motor, and then your microbit can just really turn that on and off. It activates as a smart switch. It can't really do a lot of. It can't do anything really smart about, like, you know. Only a certain amount of power. You don't have as much control, but it is a nice on and off for things, which, funny enough, is what we're going to show off in the next project, because this is one of our favorites. Oops, I'm losing batteries.
What is that thing?
This is our bubble blower. So I'm actually just I'm gonna plug this guy in too. So this is a good example of using a relay for a useful project, because we need a very strong. I'm gonna move this guy. So I'm gonna point him upwards a bit. So we need to run a very powerful fan on here. So we have a servo, a powerful DC motor. We got our 9-volt battery, our bit board, and a push button here. And this is where you put a bunch of soapy water, because it's a bubble blower, as seen in our video. But this is a situation where we cannot control this motor from the microbit. It needs really 9 volts of power, needs dedicated power supply to high amperage, compared to 3 volts on this guy. So our relay is just turning this on and off.
It completes the circuit.
It completes the circuit. It's just on, off. Yeah. So we can use it as a smart on and off for that. And this is just a great example of how you would do that. And we could run this off USB 2 for our bit board, but I'm just using this battery pack today. So the setup entirely is press button, servo goes down, servo comes up, fan runs, bubbles blow, and we'll post we've actually already posted a few videos on Twitter and whatnot with that. But it's a really simple way of doing things.
We even have a guide for this.
Yes, we do.
On our website.
Pete was nice enough to make a nice step-by-step guide. The hardest thing is really just finding a good motor to use with a little fan attachment.
There's even a Circuit Python version on our website.
Yeah, we did a little show and tell with Adafruit last week, and we used the clue instead of the microbit. Actually, we have code for both to run the same project. So it actually has on the little screen here, like, initiating fan, or like waiting for press.
Waiting for bubbles.
Waiting for bubbles. So there's actually text pops up on this really nice little color screen. Way overkill for this thing.
Yeah.
But this is just nice. It works. So you could do all sorts of fun things with a relay. Well, it totally worked before a moment ago.
They are 9-volt connections. We've unplugged it a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We had this problem last time. Our last 9-volt like halfway died on us.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, long story short, it's a bubble blowing machine, which if you have a toddler, the best thing ever. Have like a big switch on the wall, just press it, bubbles happen. Yeah. Which I'm going to totally make, because I have one of those at home, a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a new 9-volt battery on this puppy.
or press down on the connector.
Oh, that just happens every now and then. It's so weird.
The other part of the connector, maybe. There you go. Yeah.
We just need a little more tape there.
I pulled that bit board off a few times. So maybe
because all of our Crazy Circuits maker tape connects via pressure fit, and if you're taking things on and off over and over and over and over again, you can kind of wear down that tape, because you typically make something and stick it there. And anyway, all the phone calls today.
That's good.
No one ever calls us. So we have like one more thing to show off here. Then we'll let everyone go away. If we have a lot of people watching us right now, Pete?
We've got at least 17.
Son of a gun, that's unusual. So this is another cool sound project. We've done some different variations of this. This is a little music box. So we have this line of tape here that completes the circuit to here, and based like our piano, we're just playing tones off of here. And so this is kind of a fun little thing. We've done a couple versions of this. Pete even has a version where you crank and a counter goes up and down with a 7-segment display. So your hand cranking and numbers go up.
You keep track of how many cranks you did,
Which is just really silly, but it's a good example of using a 7-segment display. And then we can turn it on and off,
That's
too.
That's your volume. You turn the speaker off if you...
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's new. But yeah, we have some nice examples of how to build this up on the website, how to build like this basic aspect with a couple different types of Lego components. These are the parts you need. Here's how you build this very simple thing. You can do a lot of different types of setups with this. So little fun hand crank. We had some LEDs going back and forth. We did a big Larson scanner with that where it had the LEDs it's a manual Larson scanner. You crank it and LEDs go back and forth, which is really funny because you have a digital device here. You might as well digitally have them go back and forth, but this is just a really, really silly way of doing it.
I like to call these crank circuits. I don't know about
crank circuits.
Because you crank them with the crank. And...
There you go. So we're actually, last thing we're going to do before we head off and have some lunch here, because, and by the way, back the Bitboard on Kickstarter or on our website, brown.gadgets.com, because we're almost to our goal already after like 45 minutes here. Which makes me very happy that we're going to hit our goal right away, because then we can pay for manufacturing, yay! Yay! And the people rejoiced. But we really want to get these out there because I know people have been asking a lot for them, and we're really happy to get this done in a way that makes sense for us and with our parts, and is very useful. Because nothing's worse than a really cool thing that nobody can find a use for. I'll say this: I love my Raspberry Pis, but all the things I want to do with them are just so simple. I can never find a good use of all their features. And that's why I try to make this inexpensive with just the kind of features a classroom would need without going overboard with too many bells and whistles. Things you'll never need or really don't serve much of a purpose other than looking really cool, but not... Yeah, we want to make it interesting and useful. Because I know price point's a big thing for teachers. But hey, we're going to show you what comes in the box.
Ooh, there we go.
So imagine this with a nice little wrap around there, which we haven't printed off today because we forgot to. But inside of, say, the just Bitboard by itself kit, you'll get a couple of really cool items. First and foremost, you'll be getting some of our fun 1/8-inch wide maker tape, 3 millimeters if you want to know metric. So 16 feet or 5 meters. It's either, 1/8 inch by 16 feet or 3 millimeters by 5 meters if you want to go metric. So people in Canada... Hey, we got you covered. We've got, of course, a right angle USB cable, which we find really, really, really useful, especially with a microbit, so you're not straining the top of it, because the way we have our Bitboard and microbit combined, the microbit plugs into the top, and having a right angle cable come off the top really removes strain on that USB port.
Typically standing straight up.
Yeah, so we've done that, and it'll be in this purple style, maybe right angle here. Blue, whatever.
Sorry.
We have a nice big, I totally forgot to bring one, a nice big information card that goes here that tells you all the ins and outs of what the Bitboard does. Clearly not in this picture that you see here. And a AAA battery holder, not a AA battery holder. That's all we had.
Handy.
Yeah, just so you can easily plug in to the power inputs here. By the way, we actually have 2 ways of hooking up power. Well, more than that, actually. So you can hook up screw terminal in like a battery pack here, 3 volts power this way. You can plug in with a JST connector right here, which is what we like to do with these guys, just slide right in. You can also plug in power to the pin headers here, because that's fine. You can plug it in there. You can also run power in via the 3 volt and the ground connections here. So you have power elsewhere. You want to run it in with tape that works. And also can power it directly from USB on the microbit. We have a lot of power options.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah. So because we actually like running things with, instead of a USB like power bank, just a little battery pack tends to be smaller, easier to use, easier to hide inside of projects as well. Like that's the big thing. Hiding power inside of a project is sometimes tough. So like a AA battery pack will last quite a long time, and plus AA or AAAs are really easy to find. So that's what, like, the most basic kit, which typically would be $25 on our website. On Kickstarter right now, it's $20 as like the base price, so 20% off. And we have some early bird specials that might still be available for $15, which is 40% off. So if you want to get them at it's all of this for $15 plus $5 shipping in the U.S., more to other countries because postage. But we also have an option too if you want to get this with a microbit as well. we have microbits that we'll be having with it for $15. So just basically the cost we're paying for the microbit from our supplier. And everything you need right there. Now, we don't have any extra crazy circuits components or whatnot to go with this. It's just it by itself, because some people really like that. But if you want to go even further, we have a couple different versions of larger kits. And this is actually our classroom set version. So we have like the $25 version. We have a $100 version, which has servos, a bunch of crazy circuits components and whatnot in there. And then we have the big classroom set ones that come in huge bundles. And this is one of the student boxes in a classroom set. But it comes with all sorts of parts and components, such as alligator clips, sensors and servos, of course a bit board, which is not there at the moment. There. Bit board, nicely on the inside. Piezo speakers, our NeoPixel components, potentiometers, Lego pieces in general. Oh, are we... No.
Keep going.
Lights. And some extra Lego parts as well. We always have a Lego base plate with our bigger kits. Big 8x16 Lego base plate, as well as some of these smaller Lego components, so you can easily mount your bit board onto different
There's
setups.
a base plate under all those cards.
Oh, yes, there are. And we also have, of course, all of our fun information cards that come with all of our kits, including that there's a big one for the microbit as well. But yeah, we like to make sure there's everything you need is in the box. So if you want to just get like the classroom set, which on a rare occasion, we actually have the student boxes as an option on Kickstarter. We usually don't sell them individually, only with the big classroom sets. But we had some up there for people who want to give it a try.
Yeah.
But either kit comes with LEDs and a bunch of different components so that you can just pop open the box and make a bunch of this stuff right away. Yeah, that's why we have push buttons, switches, all that fun jazz. It's all there.
Some fun jazz, all right.
There's thumb here. So that's it. So seriously, check out our Kickstarter campaign. What are we up to now, Pete? I keep saying we're up to 17.5. We're almost to our.
We got
yay! 26 backers. So
pretty good.
we would love to be up to 2,000 here by 1 o'clock, but
nice.
we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll do it, people. Right. But it's also a Thursday,
awesome.
so. But we're running this for 28 days, so the more we can bring in, the more bigger manufacturing run we can do, and maybe we can, I'm tempted to throw in some extra stuff in the kits too. If we hit there's always the Kickstarter stretch goals. As soon as we hit like a certain amount of Kickstarter, people are like, what about those stretch goals? I'm like, do you want a keychain? We typically try to give like more maker tape. Once we get above a certain point, everyone just starts getting like more tape or some extra components. Maybe everyone gets a free component or two, like our NeoPixel components or LEDs. We haven't made any other special components up on this run, but we do have our new potentiometers, and our NeoPixel components are really nice, and they're really handy to use with a microbit or a Clue. Thanks, Adafruit, for sending us one of these. They're nice. But we'll probably actually throw some more stuff in there once we kind of hit above in that 5,000 to 10,000 mark. I'll just arbitrarily pick a spot and be like, hey, stretch goals. We hit 5,000, everybody gets a free NeoPixel. We got a couple thousand back there. Hit 10,000, we get a NeoPixel and a potentiometer. Ooh.
Awesome.
Or maker tape, because we got lots of maker tape. But anyway, that's it. If any other questions, email us. Again, you can find the Kickstarter campaign at Kickstarter. Or you can find our all these kits as well on browndoggadgets.com, because we have a limited number of international shipping options on Kickstarter just because of the horrible shipping setup that Kickstarter has. But we have a lot more shipping options on browndoggadgets.com and the same prices for the stuff at browndoggadgets.com. Just pre-order. It's the same kit and caboodle. But if you're somewhere that we're not shipping to on Kickstarter, go here and life will be good.
It will be.
You'll still be shipped out the same time as everybody else and the same stuff, and we'll honor any stretch goals we do. I'll still everyone has NeoPixels or whatnot. But we'll be shipping these in late November, because I want to make sure that these, again, depending on weird things from China and shipping things, because weird things with shipping these days. But late November, early December, we're shipping all these out. So people like in the U.S. and Canada should be able to get them but in time for Christmas, which was one of my goals to make sure.
You get it in time for Hanukkah?
It is.
Or I
should say the winter solstice, Pete.
Kwanzaa, all the holidays
all the holidays at the end of the year. the Festivus
Yes,
parties.
for the rest of
Festivus,
us, yeah,
got a Festivus with a Festivus poll.
What else we got? We got this.
Oh yeah, follow. Oh, we'll be doing. Oh, I almost forgot. We'll be doing some giveaways on our social media links as well. So if you follow us on these areas, we'll be giving away some free bit boards over the next 4 weeks. Every now and then we throw something up like at least once or twice a week on each of these. Like, hey, free bit board. If teacher something. We're bad at doing social media giveaways. We'll be like, hey, teachers just follow and tag us or whatnot, and we'll pick one of you to get something. So we'll be doing that at least once a week on each of these, if not more, because we're planning on getting a couple thousand bit boards made up for us, and we want to make sure we get them out to people so they can show and do fun things in their classrooms with them or home. If you got kids at home due to home learning or distance learning, it's a good thing to do. And now green screen. But it's made of bricks.
The real one isn't made of bricks.
No, it's made of
Lego bricks are bricks. Those are different bricks.
I believe they're made of ABS plastic,
I
Pete.
think they are for now.
Delicious
Yes.
ABS. They're moving to more sustainable green
They are.
stuff. Anyway, well, on that note, we're going to have lunch now.
Okay.
But hey, we're almost to our goal after an hour, which makes me feel happy.
Doing good.
I hit that.
Maybe we should stay in the air until we reach the goal.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we have to order in food then, wouldn't we?
I mean,
I could do that.
all right. Or we could just go eat lunch.
Let's actually probably go to lunch.
Okay, you ready?
So on this note, we're going to end things since I'm looking at my phone, seeing what time it is for lunch. Let's watch people order food on their
When are we
phone.
back again?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do a live stream tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
We'll be doing we'll start doing more and more live streams. We are actually moving next door in part, or taking over next door, the building right behind me.
We're expanding a little.
We're expanding. There we go. We're actually literally knocking down this wall behind the green screen.
The brick wall?
The brick wall.
Oh, no.
Tear down this wall.
Okay.
We're moving our video studio next door, which shouldn't be too tough to do for the live streaming. But we do plan to do more and more of that, especially with a lot of our educational partners and nonprofits we work with, and also showing off more projects, just because having more space, we need more for that. Not to mention our many, many pallets of plastic containers. Because, you can't just buy one. You got to buy like 10,000. So we've got mountains of plastic containers in our warehouse right now. So we need more space.
All right.
But anyway, on that note, we're going to end and have lunch. But thanks. Again, brown.gadgets.com. There we go. As well as follow us on social medias. We're giving away stuff. And back our Kickstarter, please. We're almost to 2,000 after an hour, which was our goal. But we'd love to hit a few more. So thanks, Wampus.
All right.
Thanks, people, for watching us all around the world.
All right.
Adios.
Okay. And
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. Check out our live streams at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you next time.